Hello and welcome to another episode. Instead of saying another more, maybe I just have to take things a little bit slower. On our last episode, we went exploring the flooded passage and we got to Burridge outskirts. I know I'm leaving some black spots on the map, but honestly, on most of them, there is not going to be anything that important.
Hello,
So
traveler.
here we are going to get the quest to find Angrim, the blacksmith here on Burridge outskirts. If you guys watched the first playthrough, you already know where he is. If you didn't, you're about to find out. If you haven't already played the game by yourself and found him on your own merits, which I mean, you're completely capable of finding everyone on the game on your own. But if you didn't, I also understand you, cause I didn't find everyone I needed to find on my first playthrough on the game. Truth be told, I didn't find a bunch of people until I started repeating and repeating and repeating, and actually I learned a lot about the game when I made a playthrough with a character named Reaper, because she was a Reaper and she was meant to be death itself. She was a necromancer and nightblade, because that's how you'll get the Reaper title on Green Dawn. And her thing was that she would have to kill everything. No living soul could stand behind. So everywhere Reaper went, she had to kill everything. So I learned a lot of things about the game because I had to be walking to each black spot and learning if there wasn't just enemies or an NPC there.
Move along now,
So
stranger.
here's Angrim. When you talk with Angrim, you find out that there are some different things that can happen. For example, one of the things is that you get his hammer, like he just hands you the hammer and you give the hammer back to Duncan. You can invite him to Devil's Crossing, which is what I always do. And you can also kill him and bring the hammer back to Duncan. Or Duncan. If you are named Duncan, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, okay? It's just not a name that I'm used to saying. Our points are exactly where we planned them to be. And let's go exploring a little bit of the Burridge outskirts. There's a cave right there. I know you guys saw it. I saw it as well. We are going there. I was just chasing this guy and his whole tribe, because I'm just like the new fathers. I go into a strange land and I kill all the natives. Okay, that's a bad thing. Now, down there is Gutworm. I'm level 50. I'm going to have my ass kicked. So I'm going to leave my Rift Gate there. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to fight Gutmook. I'm going to be fighting Gutmook. And I'm not going to die. But I'm not afraid. One thing I should do, though, is... 1 second, Gutmook. 1 second, Gutmook. I just forgot one thing. Let me... Okay, whatever. I'm going to fight with my 9 thing here. We won! I was so sure we would lose. I was just going to do this, that I usually do. I like to leave my Tonic of Mending as my right click on the mouse. So, if I really need to heal, it's right here on... like on my mousepad. I know I won't like just panic and click something wrong. I'm really surprised I beat Gutmook. I mean, I know this is smash and grab, and that my second phase of Primal Strike is already complete, but I'm still surprised. I'm still really surprised. Don't try this at home, kids. I don't remember which build it was, but I remember I brought the build here and I got kicked by Gutmook. And I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing about it. I just got killed by content and it was amusing for me. Especially on Smash and Grab. Because I mean, Smash and Grab might kill you. I'm not telling you that it's easy mode or anything, but it's certainly easier than main mode because you get more points for level up. But doesn't mean your experience is going to be less enjoyable. Actually, for me, it's exactly the opposite. Not because I won't die, because as I told you, sometimes you still die, and especially you saw that if you watched the Erasmus playthrough. Not on the early game, but on late game, I was dying to some bosses that were showing up. But because the fact that you can see where your build is going quicker and you get more money, so if you don't like your skills, you can go to Sedina and fix it up, so you don't have to just abandon a character basically because it would be too expensive to fix him. Those things make the Smash and Grab experience very enjoyable for me. If you guys would be wondering, oh, but why are you still playing Smash and Grab again? We have already seen how the Smash and Grab thing goes like. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm going to be making more videos on Smash and Grab. Because this is the mode for me. Who knows, maybe on the future on, I don't know, patch... Whoa, this is the invincible Spanish armada here, just shooting cannons at me. But maybe on a future patch of the game, because we are on 1.0.6, right? Maybe, who knows, at 1.0.8 they would make the Smash and Grab a true mode for Grim Dawn. I would enjoy that, because that would solve the save file thing that happens. Because if you actually create a character on main mode and copy this guy's files to the user folder, what's going to happen is that you, like, every time you finish playing, you have to remember to copy the new files from main to user, otherwise you're going to lose all your progress, which is really annoying sometimes. And it's probably what happened to Erasmus that time, because I actually created Erasmus as a main character, but then even on level 1 I brought him to custom, because I was creating characters on main and putting them in custom for, like, okay, if someday I want to play on main mode, I want this guy to be able to, with no problems, with no, what's the word, drawbacks, I guess. And that was the drawback itself. So we got the Burridge Village, Rift Gate. I'm not going home just yet. There's something I need to do on this neighborhood, and it's not singing. What's the song? Go ahead and cry, little girl. Nobody does it like you do. Oh shit, I can't remember the name. I love the song. I was actually hearing the new Neighborhoods album on the way home after my class. I mean, I've already heard it a lot, repeated it many times. Also, look who is here! When you stop to explore a little bit, who is this guy? It's Ulgrim! Ulgrim, the best cook in the world and the most mortal knight played. Of course I'm going to tell you about the prison. I want you there, making soup for me and telling stories. Cause you're the best spy ever. If you guys didn't know, Ulgrim on lore is the best spy ever. He was the right hand of the Emperor before the Green Dawn happened. And the Emperor trusted him so much that the Emperor gave him the unfortunate task of sacrificing him, of killing the... Like, the Emperor asked Ulgrim to kill him, and Ulgrim and the Emperor were friends because the Emperor realized that he was being possessed by the Ethereals, and he would rather not be used by the Ethereals, especially because, like, can you imagine the havoc through population if someone finds out that their leader has just been taken by the enemy, is just being used by the enemy? It would just go completely sideways. So the Emperor asks Ulgrim to deal with him and to take care of his son. And Ulgrim has hidden the Emperor's son in somewhere safe. Now we have no idea where is this somewhere safe. Maybe we already know the Emperor's son. Maybe he's just hidden on plain sight. Maybe he's just a character that we just think, oh, it's just a normal character. No, and this guy is actually the heir to the throne. It might happen. These are just some of the things that they can tie up together in the next expansion, Forgotten Gods, for which I cannot stress enough, I am so much looking forward. So what we were going back to do was to find Ulgrim and to deal with those two, because now that we dealt with those two, we can go back and talk with Harmond, and his quest will be complete since we have already hunted Balros and Hagra. And that's exactly what we are going to do. And guess what? John Bourbon is going to be asking us to go after the Warden Creek. Because we already know everything that's going to happen. We are seers. Ultana has been blessed with the knowledge of the future by her god, Ultos.
What do you want?
The Shepherd of Storms. So again, what we are going to do, since eventually I want to hunt Salazar, is that I'm going to make a deal with Direni in exchange for the strange key. So here we can talk to Ulgrim, get his XP. Here, no, to Angrim. Here we talk to Ulgrim. I was looking at Ulgrim. If you actually click here, he's going to tell some stories about things on the game. For example, here he tells us about the effectiveness of piercing weapons. So, like, he explains to you how a piercing damage works, but on the end, he still kinda has to pretend he's just a cook. So he says, at least that's what I've heard. And, you know, my profession has made me very familiar with blades. Being a cook, I mean. Like, he's... Oh, Green, you're the best, man. You almost told everyone you were a Night Blade. He's just the best. I love Ulgrim. I mean, on a world of where every guy on the game has the exactly same face, the exactly same boring face. You look at Ulgrim, like, you are this lady, this lovely lady we are. You are Ultana, a girl on her prime. You look at Ulgrim, and you look at that mustache. I mean, how do you not fall in love with this face? There is no way. Or for example, when you come here in this place where all the guys have exactly the same face, and you see the beard of John Bourbon. Man, this is just legendary. Man, how can our character not fall in love with these side characters that she ends up meeting? And I mean, Ultana can fall in love with whoever she wants, because first, she is a strong and independent woman. Second, she she believes on like just nature things and on open marriages. So she might marry Ulgrim and still have some nights with bourbon. Not only the drink, I mean. Okay, so let's keep exploring Burwich Village. Honestly, there is not much to happen here on the village, if I remember correctly. There's a bunch of things that you can go exploring here, which honestly I don't think I'll be exploring, but there's a bunch of stuff, of a bunch of like caves and cellars all around. You can see the eyes on the minimap. In fact, just so we do it at least once, okay? I'm going to be jumping on one cellar. The infested cellar. Good, great. That's exactly what I was looking for. A cellar filled with people, so I can farm the hell out of everyone. So as you can see, the cellars, they don't have much stuff. Maybe they give you some hints about something, like this guy tried to isolate himself from the Furious by spilling salt on the ground, and we kinda can see that it didn't pan out that well for him. Oh, another boss. There's a bunch of things here, so some beasts on displays, some Ethereals where we jumped down, and I guess it's one of those places just for exploring and some quick XP. And back to the surface, where we are. We are exactly where I was going. I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because I know there are some enemies here. And since we are exploring a little bit more, you know, XP would not be a bad idea. Like, see, these guys, they were hidden under the ground because they thought it would be a good idea to just hide from the government, so the government couldn't come asking for their rent. So like, oh, how can you ask for the rent money if nobody's living on this house? I'm going to just hide underneath the ground, hide underneath this wooden floor, and so when we get new people living here, we just transform them into more ethereals, and we hide them under the floor as well. So more people keep coming, more people keep turning to ethereals, and we don't have to pay rent. See, it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. Until the point you try to do this and the person who's standing in your home is Ultana. Then it's not a brilliant idea. Then it's actually a colorless idea, because your screen is going to be black. Because you just died. We are on level 37 from our Inquisitor Mastery. We still don't have any other skill other than Primal Strike, but that's my design, and you're going to see how this is going to work fine. We are going to be leaving a rift travel thing here. Actually it doesn't matter because I have to come walking all the way. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if you go this way under the bridge, you're going to be finding a cave. I showed you guys this place on my first playthrough, but then again, maybe you didn't watch the first playthrough. So, hey, secret! A fluffy secret for you. We find some slaves here. Near the X of this place, we find some beasts. And on the other side of this place, guess what? We find the Furious, because it makes completely sense that 3 rival factions are just kind of in sequence one after the other, instead of just be fighting amongst themselves. Because if you didn't realize from sometimes when we are just running or when you play the game by yourself, all the minion factions are actually enemies between themselves. The sleeves are enemies. No, okay, I think the sleeves are actually not enemies from the beasts, because the sleeves are beasts. Yeah, they are considered beastkin. Yeah, forget that. But for example, the cultists fight the beasts, and the cultists fight the pharaohs, and the beasts fight the pharaohs and the cultists. So there's a... Oh, here's my frog from the ring. So there's a clear... What's the word? Everybody's enemy. And on Green Dawn, that saying that says the enemy of my enemy is my friend just doesn't apply. Just doesn't apply. I mean, sure. Anything's bag is better as an amulet than a salt bag. And let's climb this rickety ladder. Rickety ladder. Chatarra. Chatarra. Okay. Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. Man, that would be a great episode name. That might be the episode name. Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. It's even musical because it rhymes, right? Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. Okay, I'm going to stop. Sorry. But I mean, it might make success, right? On a world where a bunch of guys just saying Gucci Gang again was good enough to get famous. Maybe I can get famous singing Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. Time to kill on Hallowed Hill. Who knows? Of course, I'm referring to Ethereals. Don't just go on your street filled with children or teenagers just singing the song. Otherwise, people are going to think you're on your merry little way to the next Columbine, and it's not going to be a fun thing for anybody. Okay, so don't do that. Burning hatred. And here there's a chest, and yeah, that was the boss, but we just didn't care. We're just like the honey badger at this point. Let's put our fire boots. Why not? We are a shaman who protects the nature, but goes stepping with fire on everything. There's actually a Chinese legend about the creature. I don't remember the creature's name right now. But there's a Chinese creature on their mythology. Are they beliefs? I don't know how to actually put it. But it's a creature who has hooves, which are always on fire. But this creature does not touch the land, so it would not hurt the grass. It would not hurt nature. Unfortunately, we can say that nature is kind of already dead on Green Dawn, so we don't care about stepping on it a little bit. Maybe even stepping on it a little bit is going to purify it. You know, there's the whole "by fire be purged" from Ragnaros and other characters. For example, I think Chaos also says "by fire be purged," at least on Heroes of Storm. We are almost done with Hallowed Hill. There's not that much to farm here anymore. In fact, I think we did it. Now, I explained this on the last time that was here, but Hallowed Hill is completely cut off from land, which means the only way to go back is through the same place you came walking. Therefore, I'm going to make a quick cut here. First, because there are no enemies and you already seen this path. Second, because I need to drink some water. It's important to be hydrated, people. Okay? Doesn't matter if you do exercises or not. Your kidneys are going to appreciate it. Okay, see you guys in a sec. Oh no. Okay, sorry. Okay, now I can talk again. I just remember something I wanted to say, and then I remember I was still down there, and I didn't want to kind of waste your time. So I was like, no, I have to stop. So I was like, oh, sorry, be back in a minute. So I mentioned on the earlier video from today as well that I was in a class about diabetes, and for example, one of the symptoms that something is not well in your body when you have diabetes is that you are thirsty all the time, and you're hungry all the time, and you are peeing all the time. The three things together, 3 P's, because it comes from polyphagia, polydipsia, and polyuria. Yeah, that's the stuff. Okay, so enough medicine. enough Greek terms. I think poly is Greek, right? Or poly is Latin. No, poly is Greek. Yeah. Yeah, Polyphemus. Poly is Greek, for sure. So, on this place, on this cellar, we find Darlet, whom I always call Darling. So get out of here, Darling, because everyone is charging on your way. And I was just saying, the Ephyros and the Beast were fighting back there. The Beast. I kind of love to just say this word, Beast. Probably because of Bloodborne. I loved Bloodborne, and I could never play Bloodborne. Because I don't have a PlayStation. And, well, maybe if they made for computer, my computer would not be able to run it. Because, let's be honest, my computer has to run Dark Souls 3 on 800 for 450. Otherwise I cannot play it. But then again, it works! That's the important part. Even if I have to let the little thing like, no, you'll have to run at like this 800 pixels for 450, but still works. Okay. Oh yeah, and there's a hidden wall there. There's probably going to have food ration and some minor treasures. Yeah, another guy that tried to just use salt to hide himself, but probably, well, actually, I'm not sure. I used to think those guys died from hunger, but then I just stopped to think about they didn't die from hunger because there's food ration there. So what did they die of? It's not ether because they haven't been possessed. So what the hell? And we are just, well, we were cleaning the shrine, and the shrine is now cleansed. So now we have 6 chaos, we don't need any more, and we have 6 primordial. Okay, I want to complete primordial, so I'm going to be building the lizard. The lizard has actually been buffed on this patch. We are on the patch 1.0.6, and the lizard used it to give total between these 2 stars 80 health, but now it gives 100 health, 50 health on this star and 50 health on this star. Also, I like the lizard because health regen, constitution, movement speed is just, the lizard is just perfect. And that means we no longer need primordial points. Now we only need 10 eldritch points, and we can start working on our Ultos constellation, the constellation of the god from whom our fathers got the name, from Ultana and from, what the hell are you? You guys are not supposed to be so early on the game. You were a disgrace to your brothers. Your Flesh Hulk brothers would be so disappointed on you. Let me see this glove. Okay, let's put this glove instead of the Shadow Grasp, which is a Nightblade glove. I know it because I was using yesterday night. I was playing with my vampire build. Yes, I made the vampire build on Green Dawn. He's a Nightblade with Occultist. Because you have to have the Nightblade ability to just jump on people, just like you're going to bite them as a vampire. It's just lore-wise perfect. Everything just makes sense. And the Occultist things, because they have some lifesteal skills, and because vampires are kind of evil things on most stories. Unless you're like watching Twilight, then they are fairies. They like, let me stand in the sun and shine. I'm going to shine for you, my love. Okay, it's not that way, but it's almost that way. You know, the fun thing about the vampire stuff with sun, the actual vampire stuff with sun, is that vampires, to where I know, they die to the sun because they are unholy, and the sun is a holy thing. But here's the thing, the sun is a holy thing because the sun is considered a god. However, in the vampire universe is also the universe where Jesus died. And you know it because one of the relics against them are crosses, are crucifix. Silver crucifix and all. So then, we are talking about an universe where other gods exist, and where other gods are also holy, and not only the Christian god, which is kinda confusing, because the Bible kind of tries to make sure you know that the only God is God. So why is the sun a god in the vampire universe? Which kind of shows that the person who did the Vampire Tales maybe didn't think it through. Like, you could have created the vampire legend on another universe, man. Or just tell us that they come from another universe where the sun is a god, and then our sun is the closest thing to a god, so that's why they take damage. But yeah, it doesn't make that much sense. I'm trying to be more talkative on this video since we are exploring a lot more stuff. Because usually what I do is just talk about the important stuff and about important lore, and not trying to be talking about random stuff all the time while we are walking. But since we are together on every step I'm making, I'm kinda having to do what we have a saying for and prepare it, because here it comes. Feeling the sausage. We are trying to fill the sausage. Not fill the void, fill the sausage. That's a saying for when you are just talking a bunch of stuff, trying to fill the time or fill the void, I guess. Because, for example, when you have to make an essay for school, for example, and then it has a minimum of words or a minimum of lines, and then you go and write something like very green small piece. You're just filling sausage. You're just trying to... It's kind of trying to deceive. Trying to cheat out the activity. Which, a great thing about college is that sometimes you're going to get some activities that are like, okay, I want you to talk about this thing in less than 80 words, and you don't have a minimum. It's just, ah, hallelujah! This is the moment I waited my whole school for. Essays that have only 80 words limits. There's a crumbling wall here. And then you realize that you want to use more than 80 words. And now your word makes no sense anymore, because now you want to be talking about things, because you feel the need to talk about those things, about health issues and all of it. But now you only have 80 words to do it. So what do you do? What can you do? Honestly, not much. You are faced with a choice. You're like, okay, so I have to kinda half-ass the job, which in this case, since I have to use less words, is going to be a full ass, or I try to put my ideas the best as I can, and I hope the teacher will forgive me if I put 90 words instead of 80 words. Otherwise, if she doesn't, you can always try to go to her and start singing Bryan Adams, you know? Please forgive me. Okay, I know the context of the song is completely different, but it's Bryan Adams, come on. I say come on like if I were listening to Bryan Adams every day, but the truth is that I didn't listen to Bryan Adams in a long time, and then yesterday when I was on my activity, my friend was the horse friend. Okay, this sounds like a BoJack person. Okay, my friend that knows a lot about horses. Okay, no, well, now it's perfect. Okay, so this person sat by my side and she was like, I forgot my headphone. Would you be okay sharing your headphone so we can go listening to music together? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was completely surprised when she put Bryan Adams to play. I was not expecting Bryan Adams. It was a really pleasant surprise. Now, 1 second. We are on the mark of 30, which means there has been enough peanuts. Okay, that rhyme was terrible. What I mean is, we are going to stop here on Underground Transit on this episode, and on the next episode we are going to be taking from here to Warden Krieg till we finish him. Okay? So thank you all for watching, and see you guys on our next episode.